I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
I like the Silence of the Lambs as much as the next person. What can I say? I read it as a dumb kid before I developed any critical thinking, and I guess I just hold on to the nostalgia. While fiction doesn't affect reality directly, it does affect our perception and, in return, how we go about things. While it's not the first time a gender non-conforming femme-presenting individual has been portrayed as a murderer, kidnapper and a monster, it is a well-known example. It would be a lie for me to say that I don't think The Silence of the Lambs has had a negative impact on the trans community. I, for one, believe there was such a thing as a true transgender. After first reading it as a kid, I also thought it was possible to distinguish a true transgender from a trender by psychoanalyzing a person's drawings. Please don't tell Blair White about this. I don't want to give her any funny ideas for her next YouTube series. I couldn't handle her criticizing my art. Please, Blair White, don't do it.
Do you think that was like cute? Was that a moment for you?
For those of you who aren't aware already, Buffalo Bill is the name of the serial killer in Silence of the Lambs who kidnaps bigger women. Her real name is Jane Gum. Yes, I'm gonna use she/her pronouns for Buffalo Bill. She's not real. Grow up. Her desire to transition led her to kidnapping bigger women, which she could skin and use as a human suit. I mean, a girl gotta make do when she's denied medical treatment. I'm kidding. I mean, medical gatekeeping is an issue I'm struggling with right now. But I think there's a few steps you could take before skinning innocent people. It's just taking it a step too far. Just a little bit. The reason I'm telling you all of this is because I've actually landed an exclusive interview with Hannibal the Cannibal! Come on in, Mr. Lecter! Okay, I'm joking. The interview's due next video.
You want penis enlargement pills?
This one though, we will be talking about Sabrina Prater on TikTok, who's been generating controversy because people don't know how to mind their own goddamn business and allow trans people to just exist as themselves while harming nobody. I'm not on TikTok, which is really unfortunate. Not really. So I only caught wind of this through Ready to Glass video and it greatly upset me. Being a trans guy who's pretty involved with the community, I figured I could provide a little different perspective and more insight compared to a cis person, no offense. Before I get into it, I must tell you to obviously not harass anyone mentioned, especially not the woman in question. If anything, you should support her probably. I also want to give you a heads up, this video is riddled with trans misogyny. This entire situation is rooted in trans misogyny, alright? As the title suggests, Sabrina Prater 625 is a 34-year-old trans woman on TikTok who goes by the name of Sabrina, obviously. Initially, her bio stated, "I'm a 34-year-old male, been dressing up since I was little, working on coming out." Going off of just that, I can only assume she's probably not in the best place right now. No matter your living situation and whether people accept you, it's always gonna be difficult to come out. You're just discovering yourself. It can be exciting and nerve-wracking at the same time. A lot of us are unsure where to go next and whether this journey is worth pursuing in the first place, who to share the news with. It's probably more difficult to come out the older you are because you've built up a life while shoving all the questions about your gender to the back of your mind. To suddenly come out could potentially rock the entire foundation you've built up. And we don't know if this is the case for Sabrina. And quite frankly, I don't think it's our business to be digging that information up. What we can tell from watching her TikToks is that her surroundings are completely run down. It's like a house that seems to be falling apart. Emphasis on seems to. I mean, yeah, it has been falling apart, but I think it's fair to assume it's not due to Sabrina. It's a more reasonable assumption that the house was in that condition when she got there. Whatever the case, her first videos, and honestly pretty much all of her videos, she's dressed up nice, clearly feeling herself and dancing. Now, I'll admit, she's not the best dancer. She does pretty much the same thing in every single video. She adds nothing to her dance routine. But last time I checked, dancing is not a crime. Isn't that a Fall Out Boy song? I don't know. Being that TikTok is full of
bullies. These are bullies. These are high school fucking bullies.
Some of her videos blew up as people were mocking her by using them as background with the green screen effect. Honestly, you guys suck. For real. Get a life. It didn't take long for people to go from just casually mocking this poor trans woman who was in the process of finally coming out to straight up be making up completely wild and baseless accusations. Once again, get a life, dude. Seriously, get a life. I'm tired of internet detectives. You're not Sherlock Holmes. You're a kid on TikTok harassing a trans woman. Fuck off. Sabrina was accused of kidnapping women and holding them hostage in her house or whatever, being a serial killer, scamming people, which I'll admit is more believable than any of the other claims, but that doesn't count for much when the other claims are being a serial killer and kidnapper. She was asking that people donate to her Cash App so she could turn on the power again. I don't know, I really don't see how that's a scam. She's asking for much needed financial support. Have you seen the state of the economy? Get over yourself. Maybe the worst thing they did, the most just blatantly transphobic thing, was calling her Buffalo Bill. Listen, this is why we make fun of cis people, cause some of y'all seem to lack critical thinking. Not only is a portrayal of Buffalo Bill very transphobic to begin with, but to then use that, a character written by
this big bullshit,
a cis man, to justify the harassment of a real-life trans woman because she reminds you of a serial killer in a movie meant to villainize trans women. Y'all suck, there's nothing to it, y'all fucking suck! No excusing it. If we were to make assumptions about her, a more reasonable one would be that this is a woman down on her luck. If anything, she's more likely to be the victim of a crime. Depending on where you live, it can be difficult to find employment as a trans person, especially when you're just coming out and you're not passing or anything. A lot of us are forced into poverty. See the state of her house, and that makes us even more vulnerable. That's the main reason some people detransition, because it's very difficult to live in a transphobic society where you can't find employment. But of course, it's way more exciting to compare her to Buffalo Bill. That's more fun than facing the institutional transphobia which pushes trans people into horrible living situations. Not only were her comments full of people saying stuff like, "Oh my god, I got bad vibes from the beginning," and "Where is she hiding the bodies?" Bad vibes? You mean your transphobia? But a lot of people were also making videos talking about her. Again, I'm not on TikTok, so I wasn't there for people's initial reaction, and I read that some of them have apologized. One being a prominent true crime TikToker who made 6 whole ass TikToks on her before apologizing. I haven't watched them, I don't know what he said nor how damning it was. What I do know is that there's no reason whatsoever these speculations should have been entertained to begin with. As interesting as I find true crime, most of you are fucking clowns and I wouldn't trust you to do an actual crime justice as you report it.
Can't wait to report your death! Like, seriously!
I've had problems with the true crime community to begin with, but for them to pick up on this and start speculating about Sabrina is a new low even for them. Shame on you. It's embarrassing, really. Now, what led them to these outlandish conclusions? Short answer, transphobia. Long answer, it's still transphobia, but they began picking apart her surroundings to spin a narrative that's just completely far-fetched and lacks substance. You're probably wondering, what? Was there a corpse in the background? No, but there was a dark, wet stain on the ground. You know what leaves dark stains? Blood. She supposedly uploaded a video where 2 other women are shown. I can't find the video, nor do I want to, because it's probably deleted for a reason. That reason being that people are harassing them. Sabrina could be telling the truth when she said those 2 were her daughters. You know who would say that though? Someone that just kidnapped 2 women. In some videos, you can see a door in the background that is barricaded. Of course, it could be because the house is worn down and she needs that extra protection to keep out intruders. Or she's trying to keep someone inside, like the 2 women she might have just kidnapped. Then there's also the security cameras you could see in the background. Pfft, security cameras. More like watching her victim cameras.
It's my yard. It's to see. It's to keep my kids safe, my dog safe. I mean, period.
And just so we're all on the same page, that's all sarcasm. All of these have very reasonable explanations. So to immediately jump to the worst case scenario is... it's bonkers, it's insane. I'm sorry, but it is. Not only do they simultaneously perpetuate transphobic assumptions and harass a marginalized woman for simply not having ideal living conditions, but they also kept digging up information about her, including her dead name, occupation, family, and old house to share on TikTok, simply because true crime cunts feel entitled to that information, convinced that they were solving a case or whatever. Fuck you, you're not the mystery gang, I'm gonna Scooby-Dooby-Doo your mom, bitch. I also think that classism played a significant role in this whole mess. Newsflash, living in a decrepit house doesn't make you a bad person. Please don't tell me that she's lazy or whatever excuse that will help you sleep at night. From what I can tell, she's quite an ambitious woman and is in fact repairing the house.
One of your friends said that you put a lot of effort into this house. In fact, when you got it, it was way worse condition.
I hung all the drywall on the ceiling, 4x8 sheets, whole sheets by myself, wearing these high heels.
Yeah, so the ceiling...
I may not know her story, but I know enough to say that she's been treated unfairly. As a trans person, seeing the videos of her just feeling herself and dressing up makes me happy. At the time of recording, her bio states, "So it's clear I've come out completely. I'm a woman, girl, go by her and she." It's unfortunate how things turned out, because her TikTok is more or less her documenting her journey towards self-discovery. She's finally come out, she's her authentic self, building what I assume to be her future house, working towards a future as herself. Before I go on, I just want to remind you to subscribe for more content, turn on all notifications and enable YouTube notifications, like this video and comment for the engagement, follow me on Twitter and Twitch where I stream Minecraft and art around 9 PM Central European time. I also have a donation goal set up on Ko-Fi since I've got my top surgery consultation the 1st of April next year. If you want to help out a trans guy financially, link in description. That's all. Now, I don't know much about Sabrina. All I know is what she's put out there and some of the things others have dug up, which I obviously don't approve of. There's absolutely no proof that she has done anything that she's being accused of, but as some people have pointed out, just because there's no proof that she's a serial killer doesn't mean she hasn't killed anyone. If that's the argument you want to make, then that's fine. But I need you to understand that I have no respect for you nor your intelligence, and I don't think anyone should take you seriously.
Asshole.
You can't prove someone has never kidnapped or killed anyone ever, but you can prove if evidence suggests they have. And y'all have nothing on her. You have nothing on my girl. You can literally use that logic against anyone. For all you guys know, I'm the most wanted man in Europe. You wouldn't know. How do y'all know that PewDiePie isn't hiding bodies in his basement?
Mr. Shower!
He could show us, but then again, he could just move the bodies. What about Dream? Don't you think it's suspicious that he wears a mask with a smile for hours at a time? What do you think he's hiding? None other than the fact that he's actually Ted Bundy. That's right. What are you gonna do? Prove me wrong? Miles, none of that makes sense. Exactly, just like this situation. Anyone who fed into this sucks. I hate you. I'm done. Bye.